to another video. I really hope you enjoyed the last video on the rods for beginners. I did get out and test one of the budget rods on my last fishing video, which was filmed at Chatton. The rod performed really well. I mean, I did talk about it quite a bit in the video, but it did perform really well for the price. A couple of little things that I didn't personally like about it, but yeah, a good budget rod. So today we're going to look at reels that will cover you for most situations on the still water. It's a beginner's guide. It's going to be fairly brief, but I'll show you everything that you need to know. So you've bought your rod for the still water, which for the sake of argument we're going to say it's a 7-weight, which will cover you for most eventualities that you're going to come across on any still water or large reservoir. So now you need to purchase your reel. Now this is a 7-8 weight reel. It's actually classed as a number 3. It is a Grays reel, GTX. It's not. There is other brands out there, and I'm not endorsed by anybody. I will put that out there right now. This is just a reel that I prefer to use, or one of them. This is quite what I would class a budget reel. You can pick these up relatively cheaply. I think they're around about £60 maximum, and you get another spare 3 spools with this. I'll just quickly show you that actually. Very easy to disassemble to get your spool. Slide this off. This is actually, oh, now you lost that. This is actually the cassette. This is the reel cassette itself. Obviously carrying the backing and the line there, which I'll tell you a little bit more about the backing and line in the next video when we talk about lines. Handy little thing here actually, this little spool retainer here, this Velcro, they can cost you up to £3-4 each online because they've got a brand name on. I went to a tool store and bought 10 of these for £1.30. I'll try and remember where I got those from, and if I can I'll put a link in the description of the video for you so you can have a look. Okay, so the benefits of these cassette systems in the reels are that you can carry several lines with you, which you may need, and eventually you will need, most definitely. So for sake of argument, we have floating line. On your second cassette you would have possibly a sink tip line, third intermediate, and the fourth a sinking. Again, I'll get into lines in another video because it's a whole different video basically. But yeah, cassette reels definitely the way forward for me. Grays are not the only company that do these cassette systems. There's also some great reels by Airflow, Witchwood, all about the same price point, and it's down to personal preference. It's whatever you feel that you fancy at the time. So this is the drag system on the reel. Basically think of that just like the brakes on your car. It slows down the line that's being paid off, judging by how tight the drag is. Now this is most of them are disc drags, and they're quite good. If you don't play fish on the reel, to be honest, the drag is fairly irrelevant, apart from stopping you getting overruns when you're paying off line ready to cast. If the drag was too slack and you pay off line, it's just going to fluff up and you're going to get a big bundle of line which you're going to have to slowly untangle. So I normally keep that slack when I'm not using the reel, so the drag's off, so there's no tension, and then when I come to use the reel I normally take it about midway, mid-tension. Again, I don't play my fish off the reel. I prefer to feel the fish through the line as I'm playing it. I find I'm more in touch with the fish, and especially using barbless hooks, I like to make sure that I've got the tension just right in case the fish is going to jump or shake its head or whatever, but the drag isn't something that I personally use myself. So most modern reels are classed as large arbor reels, which means they have a large diameter spool like that. It basically lets you retrieve line quickly onto the reel. That's basically the concept of it. but most reels these days are mid to large arbor. You very rarely get a small arbor reel these days. Now, in comparison, this reel is a slightly more expensive reel, and it's CNC lathed, which means it's actually cut from a piece of solid bar stock, so it gives you quite a rigid frame. Lovely finish, nice weight, nice and light, and quite sturdy. Now, in comparison, this Favo reel here is what's called a die cast reel. The problem with these die cast reels, they're not made, they're cast, they're basically not machine stocked. They're not cut out of a block on a CNC lathe. These are cast, so the cast is made and then the reels into a mould, and the reels are cast from that mould, so that therefore die cast. Problem with these reels that can happen is if you drop them, they can shatter. You can have big bits chunking off, or the top bar can snap off, the reel seats can come off. Now, that being said, that doesn't make the reels not worth purchasing. You really do get what you pay for. It's a budget reel, and you have to bear that in mind when you're buying reels, especially as a beginner. I would personally go for the die cast reel, the cassette type, these greys or airflow, whichever. I would personally go for these because of the extra spools and the durability. I mean, they're fairly bomb-proof still, but they can break if you drop them a certain way. Bits can break off, so you do need to bear that in mind. So remember, the purpose of this is to hold this line so that you can fish. That is basically it. How much you want to spend on a reel is personal choice. If you like something nice and blingy and you want it to look good, you can spend a lot of money. I mean, in honesty, when you do pay a lot of money for the reels, they do tend to be very light, which against a light rod makes it a pleasure to use, and you don't get any fatigue. So there is that benefit. But from a budget point of view, and being a beginner, I would definitely go for the cassette reels. Cheap and cheerful, they carry the line, they do the job, and then further down the line, if you're really getting into your fishing and you want something a little bit more personal, spend a little bit more money and buy yourself a nice reel. I hope that little insight into the reels has been helpful. It's not too much of a minefield with the reels, as long as you know that you need a 7-weight reel to go onto a 7-weight rod, 5-weight reel, 5-weight rod, etc. It's not too difficult. But I hope that little bit of information I've given you has helped in some way. And next time, I think we'll be looking at lines, backing and lines, which again is a video in itself, but it's something that can be a little bit confusing to the beginner to the sport. So I hope you've really enjoyed the video. I am happy that I'm starting to get a few more people subscribing to the channel, which is fantastic. But if you haven't done so already, please do. It makes it worthwhile, and I do enjoy doing the videos. As long as people are watching the videos, I'll keep doing them. But that's it for now. Thank you very much, and tight lines.